What's up guys, Okan here, back at it with another video. So when I first picked up Ghost of Tsushima, I wasn't exactly sure what to expect. All I knew was that it was essentially a samurai action game with stealth elements and a lot of exploration. And you're probably thinking that's all there was to it.
Right? Wrong!
While this game is essentially just that at its core, it still has many layers to it, and we're going to break all those down in this review right here. So Ghost of Tsushima follows the story of Jin Sakai as he's on a bloody journey to reclaim the island of Tsushima from Mongol control by going beyond the traditional means used by samurai. Now, if I'm being honest, this game is essentially the feudal Japan era Assassin's Creed game we've been begging Ubisoft for the last few years. I have to say they really dropped the ball by not delivering that game, because this game is incredible. And also, that's the main thing about this game. It's not exactly reinventing the wheel or anything, but it takes different aspects from multiple games and makes them great. You've got your stealth elements, you've got your assassinations, and you've got your climbing mechanics from games like Assassin's Creed, and then you've got your free flow combat against multiple enemies, sort of like an Arkham game. And there's so much to do, like the map is sprawling with little camps for you to take out, side quests given to you by companions, and hidden gems for you to find, whether those be by the golden birds that fly around or by the fox dens that you can find hidden on the map. It's a very large game overall, and you're never lacking in content. So let's get into the combat a little bit. I have to say it's really stupendous how the combat works. It has a slight learning curve, but once you get a grip on it, you'll be going through enemies left and right. Unless you're like me, because I'm just not really good at video games in general, but I try my best. But essentially the combat is usually fast paced, and it rewards you for being aggressive if you take that approach. Now, you can take that approach, but you can also take things from a stealthy perspective, and you can play the entire game that way as well and do just fine. I myself was a fan of a good mix of both. Something unique that the game does is force you to change up your playstyle by having enemies that vary in size and use different weapons. And fighting each enemy requires you to change something called your stance. Now there are 4 different types of stances in the game, and each one is tailored to a specific type of enemy that you go up against. And you can't just use any stance with any enemy, because it really won't work for you. The game forces you to switch your stances up so that you can properly beat down the right enemies. And this was a really cool feature to me, and I appreciated having to switch it up on the fly and challenge myself with each different enemy, including the bosses. Now, in regards to how this game looks, it's insanely beautiful. The landscapes are lush and vibrant, and everything was so gorgeous to look at. It made me wonder just how the real Tsushima Island looked, because this game was fantastic. And many times I stopped in the middle of playing to just take in environments and the setting that I was in. And they pretty much covered all types of weather in this game, whether it be snowing, raining, or just a bright sunny day. And don't get me started on how nice the sunsets looked in this game. Now, this game pretty much set a high bar and lets me know that the next generation really needs to bring it on, and the graphics department, because this was a graphical marvel. And I know that they really put work in, because my PS4 sounded like a fighter jet that was in the middle of taking off with all the fans that were blowing extremely loud. Something else I also want to touch on in regards to how the game looked is the game's photo mode. Now, most games have this capability these days, but in Ghost, it's very nice. They give you the option to leave your environment on and have the wind blowing in the background while you're taking a picture, or you can turn that off and just have everything be still. As well as that, they also give you the option to turn on this feature in the game called it's not called monochrome mode, but it is a monochrome mode called Kurosawa mode, which is a black and white mode that plays homage to Akira Kurosawa, the famed Japanese director of many samurai films like Samurai 7, Rashomon, and Yojimbo. Now, talking about story in this game focuses on character a lot. Your character Jin is struggling with sticking to the samurai code while also breaking that code to do what he feels is the best way to help the people of Tsushima. And you see him slowly heading further and further into darkness as he keeps killing more and more Mongols. But then halfway through playing this game, I realized something important. I'm Batman. And I'm not sure if any of you have ever read or seen the story Batman Ninja, but that's what this is. I was vengeance. I was the knight. I was Jinsakai. But if you really think about it, I'm essentially Batman in this game. You're from a wealthy family, you're an orphan, you dress in all black and take out the corrupt individuals in the night, and you're just an overall badass that can fight like 5 dudes at once. But back to the story. What I got from this game is this is a character who sees no other choice but to do things his way. He has people in his life telling him not to go down the path he's going, and at first you can see him sort of struggling to fit into this new person that he was slowly becoming. But at the end of the day, he made a character decision that I personally found unrelatable. However, I didn't not enjoy it. It made for a better story to tell, and I liked the repercussions that ended up coming from it at the end. It kind of made you question what you would do in that same situation, and I enjoyed that. Now let's talk about a few things about this game that frustrated me. First and foremost, while in the middle of fights, you had some bad camera angles at times. Like if you were fighting inside of a building, you can pretty much expect the camera to get stuck in the corner, and you have trouble seeing what you're trying to do. This led me to getting killed unfairly at times, and I honestly think a lot of that could have been solved with a lock-on button, which this game also lacks. And you fight multiple enemies at a time, yes, but games like this usually give you the ability to focus on one at a time by being able to lock on. You don't get that here, and yes, that may seem a bit nitpicky, but I would have liked that option personally. But all in all, I have to say Ghost of Tsushima is an amazing title, and it's one of the best ways to end the console generation for the PlayStation. From the unique characters you interact with and their tales you can go on, to the lush and vibrant landscapes, to the great stealth and combat elements, this is an experience I did not know I needed until I had it in my hands, and I commend Sucker Punch for being able to deliver on something like this after all of their infamous games. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the review here. I appreciate you guys that made it this far and watched everything. It means a lot. And thanks for always supporting me throughout all these videos. And you can look forward to more videos coming out soon. But if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and like, subscribe, and stay tuned to see what type of content I take on next. Later.
Bye.